Now, contrary to popular belief, as I just said, your goal is to have as little objections as possible. Why? Hey guys, Jason Fox here and welcome to another video. Really pumped up about this one because we're going to cover my favorite topic, which is sales. I'm going to teach you some tactics or hacks, if you will, that has really added $100,000 at least to our business in the last 2 months. These are going to be in real detail. I'm going to give you specific examples and I'm going to show you also what not to do, which I see a lot of people doing, and it is the big reason why you aren't closing deals. The first hack or tactic that we want to utilize is something that I've really only recently been really introduced to, and it is talked about a lot in a book called Spin Selling. I highly recommend you read that book. It's fantastic. Talks all about sales, and it's really into the research and the scientific side of things more so than just the sales. It's written by someone who actually doesn't have much of a background in sales. It's more on the research side, which I really like because you can get some really good details and insights from actual data. And one thing that they talk about a lot is he talks about a little story about how he went to a conference where this guy said to him, all that you want to do is get as many objections as possible because that means the client is interested and it's going to be fantastic. And he sat there in the back of the room, didn't say anything. He saw all of the people so amazed by it. And then after the conference, he went up to the person and asked the guy a couple of questions. And he said, tell me about your early sales calls. And the guy said, oh yeah, my early sales calls got hundreds of objections, it was really hard. And then the guy who wrote the book asked, well, what about your most recent successful sales calls? And he said, well, I really didn't get that many objections. And then the guy goes, so why are you teaching, people to get objections? And then he thought, I don't think that I'm teaching the right thing. And it was really cool. It was a good interaction because it showed that the presenter actually, was listening and actually wanted to take on the research and the guidance from, the guy who wrote the book, which was cool. I liked seeing that. And I like people who are open to change. But long-winded story, all to say is that objection handling isn't the most valuable skill in sales. Instead, a skill that is way more preferred, and trust me, it has added so much to my business, especially in the last couple of months. It's actually a technique that I like to call objection prevention. Now, contrary to popular belief, as I just said, your goal is to have as little objections as possible. Why? Because prevention is a lot better than the cure. If we can stop something from happening, it makes it a lot easier and a lot more seamless of a process to get to the sale. So how do we do this? How do we actually prevent objections from coming up? It's really simple. You need to be asking the right questions. And by the right questions, I mean questions that really hit the prospect and get them to think and get them to overcome their own objection. One of my favorite examples of this, and it's something that I know a lot of you guys face, is I need to think about it. That's a real big objection. The old, objection handling technique is like, oh, when do you specifically need to think about it? We'll reach back out at that time. And that's fantastic. You still might have to use that. But instead, you need to be bridging the gap of the cost of inaction. What happens if they don't take action now? If you can really get them to understand that, then the I need to think about it objection is going to fall by the wayside because they know that it's really important for them now. And just as a little quick, piece of advice here, or a question that you guys should utilize, is a question like this, and it's a need payoff question. If you read the book Spin Selling, it'll really help you. It is, why is this important for you now though? And they're going to explain to you why it is important for them. Why now? Why specifically now? They'll give you examples like, my daughter's graduating college, so I need my business to grow. I'm trying to bring on new employees because I need my business to grow. They're giving you those examples so they don't have to think about it because they need to get to action right away. So asking the right questions are going to allow you to prevent objections and will make sure that you don't have to handle so many on the back end. The next hack or tactic that I would really recommend, and this is the one that's probably been the biggest game changer for me in the last few months, is mastering tonality. Now, it sounds overcomplicated and it's something that a lot of people misinterpret. People think that sales is all about this high energy, rah-rah, buy or die, hard, like high ticket, hard closer type of stuff. When in reality, it's not that, and it hasn't been like that in a long time. It's about understanding your clients' or your prospects' problems and then presenting a solution to that problem. Getting them to dive in on their pain and then bringing them out by presenting a solution that your service can offer. Now, here's a quick example of what I mean by tonality. I'm gonna give you the two different types of tones at the beginning of a sales conversation. I'm gonna use the words that you've probably heard before. So, hey, Mr. Prospect, really glad to be on this call with you, looking forward to it. Look, how this call is gonna go, it's going to, start by me asking you some questions, then I'm gonna present to you what I think we can do to help you at the end. Now, at the end of the call, really what I want to do, there's only two real options that I want to see. It's either yes, you want to work with us and you're ready to go, or no, you don't want to work with us. Really two options, either a yes or a no. Is that fair? That creates so much sales resistance, end scene really there. That creates a huge amount of sales resistance because you're already pressuring the person. You're already going in and saying you need to make a decision. They're not even ready to open up to you yet, let alone make a decision about whether they want to work with you or not. So start as slow as possible and really build that rapport. Rapport isn't built by talking about, the latest baseball game or whatever it is. It's built by asking the right questions. So let me switch my tone up on you and show how you should really start a conversation. Hey, Mr. Prospect, how are you doing today? Man, that's so awesome. Yeah, I just went to the beach this weekend. It was really good. Is it okay if we jump right into this call? Is that okay with you? Now, look, this call really for me is about finding out what you've got going on, what you're struggling with in your business at the moment, to see if we can really help you out. And look, I wanted to start off because I'm genuinely curious. What about our how they found you, our ad attracted you to really book a call with us? Again, end scene, right? You can really tell the difference. At the start, we're coming off with this friendly approach, this tonality that is comfortable, because what you want to do on a sales call is get to the deep personal problems. You want to get to that emotional level of their problem, not just the surface level, I can't get clients. You want to get to that emotional level, and the only way you can do that is by mastering your tone and allowing them to feel comfortable and in a safe space. Because at the end of the call, ultimately what you want to be doing is you want to transition, say there's two sides to the table here. You want to transition to being on their side of the table. So you're working together to find a solution, to work together to handle any objections that pop up if you haven't prevented them already. Whereas a lot of people just want to be on that other side of the table and say, this is what we have, you need to buy all of this. No, you need to be working together. And the reason that this is so important is not only the fact that it's going to help you with your sales, but it's also going to help you keep your clients. One big thing I've noticed is the clients where my tone and we're working together, they are the best clients because the relationship starts so smoothly. The relationship, years ago when I was doing this buy or die type stuff, it's so rugged and so hard because you're basically pushing them to make a decision, and they feel that throughout your relationship. So please understand tonality and get on the same side as your prospect, and it's going to help you dramatically close a lot more deals and work with a lot better clients. All right, guys, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like and subscribe. We have a ton more content coming up for you that's going to really help you grow your business in 2021. Also, while you're at it, if you would like more of this content, a couple of live interviews, we have some awesome live interviews coming up in our free community. If you want to jump over there and see what we're all about, then click the first link in the bio. Otherwise, I will see you in the next one.